Urgent Commanders fan! Look at what just happened! Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Commanders news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Commanders two-time Pro Bowler reveals why he left for Vikings. This two-time Pro Bowler opened up on his release from Washington. Jonathan Allen spent 8 seasons with the Washington Commanders, earning 2 Pro Bowls while with the team. However, following their front office rebuild in Ashburn, VA, after the purchase of the Commanders in 2023, the team's new ownership has come with a new vision in place. And in their new vision, their two-time Pro Bowler defensive lineman didn't seem to be a part of their process, causing the Commanders to release Allen. Upon getting released, Jonathan Allen signed with the Minnesota Vikings, setting his sights on success alongside former Commanders offensive coordinator and current Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. In an appearance on the Rich Eisen show on Saturday, Allen gave an inside peek at how his release came to fruition, along with showing his excitement about the new journey with Minnesota. In the NFL, it's very hard to play your entire career on one team. Allen said via Jay Daniels MVP on X, a new regime came in, they had a path that they wanted to follow, and I wasn't a part of that. So, I gotta give them a lot of credit for doing me a favor of releasing me when they did, but, things just didn't work out for whatever reason. But, super excited, Allen added. Super excited to be part of this new team and reunite with Coach O'Connell. Now, Allen is spot on with his first statement. It's nearly impossible to stay on one team throughout one's career, and it's only getting tougher. With the amount of money players can gain by exercising the right to explore other teams, it's not easy for NFL players to stick with one team throughout their entire career, especially when it starts getting close to 10 years. Even in the traditional workplace, spending a decade at a job is impressive. It's not an even one-tune comparison, but it's there. So, although Allen has produced well throughout his career, it appeared Adam Peters had different plans with the defensive line, as the Commanders are only 1 year separated from drafting Jerjon. Johnny Newton in the second round of the 2024 NFL Draft. If they plan on getting him more involved on the defensive line, allowing an aging veteran to test free agency makes sense. It opens the lane for a younger player, Newton, to develop into a potentially better player than Allen. Sure, it's a gamble, but they were seemingly willing to take it. So although Allen was a staple of the Commanders and all of their other names throughout franchise history over the last 8 seasons, there's no ill will towards Washington. In fact, he appreciated how they handled a situation that had the potential to get sticky. Now, the two-time Pro Bowler is ready to suit up in the purple and gold with the Vikings and make his new home in Eagan, MI. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Commanders news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Big-name free agent touted as perfect fit to fill dire Commanders' need in 2025. The Commanders need more edge rushers before the 2025 season. Adam Peters' philosophy during free agency was clear. The Washington Commanders weren't going to make lavish splashes for the sake of it, not with this crop of veterans. Signing proven performers to 1-year deals represented the correct approach in keeping with the team's new winnow mindset. There was one major financial outlay to secure defensive lineman Javon Kinlaw. Peters opted for landmark acquisitions in the trade market with wide receiver Deebo Samuel Sr. and left tackle Laramie Tunsil coming on board. This represented another statement of intent from the Commanders, but the hard work was just getting started. Peters only has 5 selections during the 2025 NFL Draft. Maximizing every asset is crucial, but there is also enough spare cash to dip into the free agency pool again if the right opportunities present themselves. The Commanders are a contending team and an attractive destination once again. Those remaining on the market would probably jump at the chance of joining Dan Quinn in Washington, so it's not a bad spot for Peters to be in. Finding the player capable of slotting into the culture shift is a trickier proposition. Even so, fans are confident they have the right front office structure in place to keep things trending positively. Commanders tabbed as ideal landing spot. For Zadarius Smith in 2025, Washington needs more pass rushing prowess before Week 1. Most analysts project Peters to rectify this issue at some stage during the draft, perhaps with one of his first 2 picks. However, Daniel Valente and Brendan Deeg from The Score touted a productive free agent who fits the mold of acquisitions made by the Commanders this offseason. The analysts thought Zadarius Smith would be a nice short-term solution to this problem, especially after Dante Fowler Jr. departed in free agency for the Dallas Cowboys. Hez still productive at 32 years old, so there are far worse avenues the Commanders could go down, that's for sure. The Commanders lost Dante Fowler to the Cowboys in free agency after he led the team in sacks last season. Zadarius Smith can provide a veteran presence up front, and he's still got a lot left in the tank, even at 32 years old. He totaled 5 sacks split between the Browns and Lions last year. Daniel Valente and Brendan Deeg Smith had to pivot quickly after being traded to the Detroit Lions before the 2024 deadline. He flashed dominance as a pass rusher again, albeit with less explosiveness than during his prime. Washington could be waiting until after the draft to see where things stand, but there's a lot of merit in signing him beforehand to give Peters some extra freedom. The Commanders have very few, if any, edge rushers who strike fear into the opposition. Frankie Louvu is the most dynamic, and he's a linebacker deployed in blitz packages when the situation dictates. Dorrance Armstrong Jr. is decent, and Dietrich Wise Jr. should help, but this unit doesn't have enough to move the needle as things stand. While Smith's influence is gradually decreasing as the years pass, one could argue he's an upgrade on anything Carolina has right now. Whether this is enough for the former fourth-round pick out of Kentucky with 69 career sacks to end up in Washington is another matter. Watch this Space Commanders get upsetting Jaden Daniels prediction. The Washington Commanders took the NFL by storm last season, with Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn leading the franchise to a 125 record and an NFC Championship appearance in year one. After a 4-win season in 2023, that was quite the jump from a franchise often seen as the laughingstock of the NFL, but now the Commanders, as they enter 2025, won't be able to strike from the shadows. The rest of the league knows they're coming. With Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil signed in free agency, the Commanders again, on paper, look to have improved to take advantage of Jaden's rookie contract. But as we know, success in the NFL isn't an exact science, and just because a team is good one year, it doesn't mean it will be the next. For ESPN, while the Commanders' over-under win total is set at 10.5, writer Mike Clay thinks 8.5 is where the franchise will land. So there is merit to thinking the Commanders won't win 12 games again, and we have seen Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud take a little step back in year 2, although he still made the playoffs. But is 8.5 a little low? That idea is surely upsetting to DC fans. One could envision Washington winning 9 games in 2025, but the schedule is tough. The Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys twice, the Green Bay Packers, Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders, Minnesota Vikings, Miami Dolphins, Denver Broncos, and the Detroit Lions are all on the schedule. Daniel's rookie season was a sight to behold, but now the franchise can't sneak up on anyone they know Washington is coming. Is a regression coming to the nation's capital? And now, Commanders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Commanders. I'll be back any moment with more Commanders news. We want Dallas.